Hi, my name's Amanda Felice.
You call yourself a free spirit, a wild thing, and you're terrified somebody's gonna stick you in a cage. Well, baby, you're already in that cage. You built it yourself. Because no matter where you run, you just end up running into yourself.
Morning, guys. If you can't tell, I'm in a nicer background right now. This is actually the Airbnb that I was staying in with Rachel and her family, which is super nice and kind of like a nice change up from like the hostels that I've been staying in. It's kind of like being with my family again, you know? So they had to leave early to catch their train. And I am taking an overnight bus into Poland, and so I have the entire day to myself, I guess, here in Berlin. There was just something on my mind that I kind of wanted to talk about because like being here with Rachel's family, and then naturally her parents are worried for me as well. My parents are worried for me. So like one thing that Rachel's dad like asked me or said to me, was quite funny, and it kind of like got me thinking. Last night I was sitting on like the sofa, and then I was painting my nails, and then I was curling my hair before I slept. And he was just like looking at me funny. He was like, how do you travel like this? Like how do you do like solo backpacking travel like this when you're like such a girly girl, you know? Isn't it like a lot of maintenance? Or like, I mean, he didn't say it exactly that way, but it was like he expected traveling life to be a lot simpler and more low maintenance, you know. To me it's funny because this is already quite low maintenance. Like, I don't have to go to the salon to do my hair, I don't have to go to the salon to do my nails, I rewear my clothes, whatever. But to me it's just like how much you prioritize, you know, when you travel. Everyone travels differently, and I just kind of want to like debunk that preconception or stereotype of backpacking, solo traveling via backpacking as being like super like you have to be super like dirty and grimy and not really care about like hygiene and just be super rugged and everything. Yeah, obviously you can travel like that, and many people have, but you can also be a girly girl and care a bit more about your appearances and your upkeep whilst traveling, you know? The idea of backpacking is just to like travel light with everything you have on your back so that you can get from point A to point B and travel to many different places or for like a longer period of time on as little as you can, you know? And that doesn't mean I have to give up like doing makeup or like beauty and like skincare, that kind of thing, as long as I keep it minimal, right? So I just bring maybe like one or two nail polishes, and I can always buy some along the way. They're really cheap. And then like curling my hair is just that's my priority. Is like everyone has their own things that they can't give up. Curling my hair is one of them, you know? And it's fine as long as I can keep it in my bag. It's fine as long as I can manage my trip with it. Another thing I want to talk about, which is like how you travel. Everyone, like I said, travels differently. They have different priorities when they travel. Some people travel to a place to eat their food, to try their local cuisine. Some people want to experience their history and their culture. Other people travel to make new friends, meet local people. And then there's another group of people who travel to a place for like the nightlife and the partying scene. And in each group there's so many people, and there's no right or wrong way of traveling. You could do all of these things in your traveling, or you could choose to focus on one. And each of them is fine. But for me, when I travel, I mean, this trip is supposed to be a bit more budget. But that doesn't mean every single thing I have to script and save. I just prioritize different things. I'm not much of like a foodie person, so I could honestly eat whatever, like the cheapest thing. Like I could walk down the street, eat like a slice of pizza, and that would be enough for like my lunch, or even like 2 meals, because I don't have a big appetite, and I'm not particular about what food I eat. So I save on food. Some people can't save on that. Some people have to try all local cuisine and eat like proper food. And I understand that. And then you script and save on something else. Maybe you go less tours, or you save on your accommodation, you book super cheap hostel accommodation, that's fine as well. For me, maybe I prioritize, like, I'd rather stay in a bit more of a comfortable accommodation, a hostel. That's how I prioritize. So you save in different ways, and maybe sometimes I want to shop and then I go and shop. Some people don't want to do that. Some people don't want to sightsee so much, then they save money on that. Some people rather walk than take the train and buses, and then they save money on that. Other people don't. So these are all different ways you can save. It doesn't mean that because you're going on a budget backpacking trip, you save on every single thing. Rightly, you should, and I am. But at the same time, like, know your priorities. Know what you enjoy, what ticks you off, what you cannot really give up so much, and then you prioritize your budget from there. Prioritize the entire trip from there, and then you won't feel so miserable when you're out here like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that just because of money. No, you can. You just maybe have to sacrifice something else that you're not too keen on. And I don't know, I think a lot of people have like a bit of, maybe I wouldn't say outdated mindset, but more like a narrower mindset of what traveling can be, or traveling this way can be. It's either you go super rugged and do the backpacking lifestyle, or you go like more luxury and stay in like hotels and take like book tours and do a bit more of like a luxury kind of travel. You know what? You're free to do whatever you want, however you travel. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm all for that, and I want to debunk that, you know? There's so many people out there that I've met who travel, I guess, the way that I do. People on YouTube, people on Instagram, who do like maybe van life, which is something I want to do, but van life. And it doesn't mean you have to give up all your luxuries for just so you can live in a van. You can still enjoy like wearing nicer clothes, but you just maybe like have less clothes, and then you can still do your makeup. You can still cook like good food. You can still go to the beach and surf. You can still hit up some malls. Like all these things, it's really your own itinerary. It's your own life. It's your own trip that you are free to plan, and don't let anybody dictate how you're supposed to do, because there's no right way to do it. And to me, it's just really funny. And I don't look like the stereotypical backpacker girl, for sure. That doesn't mean I can't be one, right? And I don't know, I feel like a lot of maybe parents would worry a lot about this form of traveling, and rightfully so. I think you need to have like a change in perspective over the way you view backpacking, solo backpacking. But anyway, I'm rambling way too much. It's been almost like 10 minutes, and I probably should check out this place and go get some lunch. I'll try to do a lot more talking to you guys. It's a bit hard, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to be structuring this vlog. But yeah, forgive me if I miss out on a lot of clips of the things I'm doing, because sometimes I don't bring my camera all the time, and sometimes it's really hard to capture every single moment that happens when it happens spontaneously, and I don't want to like force it, or like to, I don't know, record every single thing. Some things are just nicer to just keep in your memory. Oh, the other thing I wanted to address was like traveling solo, and especially as a female. I mean, for guys, people probably don't worry so much. If a guy wants a solo backpack, that's completely fine. You can take care of yourself. But for a girl, it's like you always have to worry that she can't protect herself, or that somebody's gonna take advantage of her and it's not safe. Definitely, there are some truths in there, and yes, every right to be worried. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of unfounded worry. You really, when you travel, you have to be obviously a lot more careful about your surroundings. You have to be more cautious. But I truly believe that everyone in this world can be nice and is nice and kind, and it's how you treat them and how the situations are and how you make them out to be. So just be careful when you travel. The one thing I wanted to know is just that, like, when I was traveling, it's so funny because Rachel's mom kept saying like, oh, Rachel, you should join her here. Oh, are you meeting people in this place? Or you're going alone this place? Which parts are you doing it alone? And it's really funny because when I first started this trip, before I left Singapore, this was supposed to be a solo backpacking trip, but it ended up being like, I ended up planning to meet people so many different cities and all the places I was going. I was just like planning around meeting people that I knew, all my friends who were traveling out there. So it's, in the end, it kind of became, I mean, I'm not upset about it or anything. I definitely enjoyed the trip this way, but like I feel like it's not the full solo experience that I could have, or that maybe I'm hoping I could have. Of course, before I left, I was scared that like I was scared that I would be very lonely. I wouldn't be able to find friends. I would have to go everywhere alone. I couldn't do things alone by myself. And yeah, of course, out here there are times when I want to go somewhere and I can't really do it because I'm alone. But then being out here, and when I was truly alone, for example in Prague and Budapest, I was never alone because I made friends. And when you're traveling solo, and you meet so many other people who are traveling solo as well, and it's so easy to just connect with people. And obviously be careful about be smart about who you connect with. But definitely there are just how do I explain this? Like you will never truly be solo, and you shouldn't have to plan to be with people when you're traveling solo, because you will end up meeting them. And even if you don't, it's still fine to travel alone. I enjoy the days when I'm fully alone because I can do whatever the heck I want to do without worrying about like, does this person want to do this? Are they comfortable? Are they bored? Do they like my company? You know? And so when Rachel's mom was asking me that, and I was like, honestly, Rachel doesn't have to come with me. If she wants to come, she can come, but I'm completely fine with being alone. And she should be fine with Rachel wanting to go on a solo trip as well and not having to, be with somebody on a trip. So there's a lot I can say about this topic, honestly, but it's just like a little teensy 2-cent bit of what I've been thinking about this entire trip. And so far I've been loving it, and I honestly wish I could stay longer in Europe, but from the start I didn't plan on it. It was more like just traveling through it just to get to Russia so I could take the Trans-Siberian train. This trip is all about the train. But definitely I'll be back in the future so I can really cover Europe properly and spend a lot more time out here, because I surprisingly really like some places. Anyway, it's time for me to go get some brunch and get out of this place. I'll keep you guys posted on what I've been doing. Yeah, goodbye.